What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I am a full-time media reseller. I go around the thrift stores. I do bulk buys on Craigslist, and I've yet to get any on Nextdoor, but there's plenty of you out there doing great on Nextdoor, but Craigslist is my main source for bulk buys. I go around to the thrift stores. I scan all the media, the books, CDs, and DVDs. Whatever is profitable to send into Amazon, I buy that and I send it into Amazon every week, and I make a full-time income doing that. So today's video, it's kind of going to be like an insightful video for people that kind of wonder how much an inventory it takes to make a certain amount of money. So I'm going to show you a month of sales basically that I had on Amazon where I made over $5,000. So we're going to hop over to the computer here in a second. We're going to break everything down so you kind of have an idea of average sale price, how many books I sold within that month, just so you can gauge where you're at versus where you want to be. So let's get over to the computer and get right on. So I am a little tiny guy on the screen somewhere. You're not worried about me really. I'm just going to be talking through some of the stuff as we go here. So the first screen I have in front of you here is basically a sales snapshot of the month of May for this year for myself. So this breaks it down everything for you. You can just go into your business reports and filter to any kind of dates you want. So you see two different lines here. You have the blue and the red. The red is last year for me, and the blue is this year for me. But more importantly, up top here is going to show you how many items you sold, how much they sold for, the average units, and the ASP, as fancy people call it, your average sales price per order. So we sold 313 books within that month. That's over 10 a day. So that's a good average to look at. You know, once you start hitting 10 a day and you keep building from there, that's where you kind of want to be if you're trying to make a full-time income doing this. Average sales price is $16.38. So to a lot of people, that is low. So a good sales price for selling media is around $20. A great sales price is $25 plus. Now with Amazon, it's all controlled by basically the lowest price is going to get the buy box. And you all know I reprice aggressively. So when it comes to things like this, I just want to sell the inventory, pump the money back into the business, basically keep turning $1 into $4 or $5 repeatedly. And that's basically the name of the game. So this is kind of a snapshot just to show you your average sales price. This is how you can find it on here, and basically how much you have. So that brings to the question, well, Mike, how many items do you have basically in stock? So this was for May of this year, so the number's probably a little skewed. It's probably a little less than what I have here. So on this page, I'm currently utilizing 2,546 of my available inventory, which is 6,454. So probably May, I was probably around, if we had to go to the beginning of May, I probably was around 2,100, 2,200 items in stock. So one thing you have to take into account is during May, that's the beginning of May is when I was ungated in CDs and DVDs. So that the sales number is probably lower than it will be once I get the buy box for CDs and DVDs. I still don't have the buy box for used CDs or DVDs. And like I said, most of the sales on Amazon go through the buy box. So 2,000 basically, what I will say will be books, or maybe 1,900 of them are books. So that's just kind of where you want to be level wise to basically at least be making $5 grand a month. So that covers the how much I had in inventory versus how much in sales you make in a month. So now we're going to get to the orders. So I figured it'd be helpful to have the orders so you guys can see, you know, sales price and everything like that, just to kind of see how it ranges. You know, you're selling stuff at low, but you're also selling stuff at high prices. So it's always good to have a mix. You're not always only going to be selling, you know, $40, $50 profit books. You're going to sell a lot of between $10 and $15 books. That's just the way it works. Not all books are going to go for crazy amounts of money. So let's get over to the manage orders page. So I already have it sorted for the month of May. So you got your 313 orders like we've seen on the first page. So we're just going to scroll through and see, you know, what's going on. So the first one right here, for example, horses, $25.89 sale. But then you jump down to the next one, $10.92. So you've probably figured the difference in profit between these two alone is probably $10, $11. So you're not always going to have, you know, the $26 sales. You're going to have a lot of the $11, $12 and the next one down right here, $14 sale. So it's a balancing act. You can't always expect to just be selling books that are $20+ unless you're doing only textbooks. That's a different story, and that's a whole different ball game. But just, you know, your average person that wants to sell media on Amazon, this is what basically how it really looks on the back end. You're not just making all these crazy high dollar sales. Next up, we got a DVD here for $15. A little basically set. It's got Flipper, Lassie, just stuff like that. And we got another book here for $22, which is decent, but as you see right underneath that, we got a book that sold for $10.38. So depending on the size of the book, $10.38 can make you $4, or you could lose, you know, $1 or $2, because Amazon's fees are based off the size and the weight of some of these items. So if this book is a bigger, heavier book, at $10.38, I'm probably breaking even, and I'm probably losing, you know, 75 cents. But just comes with the game. You're going to sell some high, sell some low. Next up here, we got a CD we sold for $13.71. Now, I will tell you, the fees with CDs are, because they're tiny and they're real light, you could sell a CD at $10 and make $3 all day long on Amazon, even after the fees. So something like this at $13.71 for a CD, I probably made around $6, $7 on that. So that's why I love CDs. I prefer them over DVDs. It's just personal preference, and I just feel like there's you can make more at a lower price, so you're probably going to sell more at a lower price. So I'm excited for when I get the buy box for used CDs, because we did one bulk buy. Debs scanned almost 4,000 CDs, and we sent in, I think, around like 600 CDs. So once I get that buy box, the sales should start flowing in for the CDs. And even without the buy box, you're still going to get sales every once in a while, just not as much as you would if you had the buy box. So let's keep scrolling down here. $17 for this book, which isn't bad, you know. If it's basically right around what my average sales price was for the month. So here goes one. This one sat for a while. Marcel Dion story, hockey story. It's one of those things, you know. Around this time, the NHL playoffs were starting, so hockey was more popular. Just like seasonal things like textbooks, you know, sports-related items. If it's in season, there's a much higher chance it's going to sell versus, you know, if this book didn't sell and it sat all summer, it probably would sit until hockey season started again. And that was a good sale at $35. Now, you also have to realize your cost of goods. So on average, my cost of goods is right around $1.25. I've been getting it down more and more by doing bulk buys, free pickups, and shopping on like discount days at thrift stores, like half off. Basically, half off days are the two main days I thrift now. So I literally plan a whole route on those days, and I spend all day going to the half off stores and spending a whole lot less and making a whole lot more. So go down here, another $14 book, a DVD here for $13.51. So you see, it's a mixture of stuff, but it just really depends on what you have in inventory. If you have more books, of course you're going to sell more books. If you have more DVDs or CDs, you're going to sell more of those. So it's just you know, part of the game. That's kind of wanted to show you guys, you know, exactly what I'm selling within a month period. I'm not going to go through them all, but I figured we'd go through the first page here and see what we had going on. $27 book sold, and right underneath it's kind of funny how this has been working. So this was the third time we had a high dollar book sell, and then after it was a low dollar book. So we had a $26 book sell, and then we had a $11 book sell, basically. So it goes to show it's not all $25, $30 books selling. You're gonna have a lot of this kind of stuff that sells for $10 all day long. Dragon Age Collector's Guide. I bought this back in one of my videos where I went to Second and Charles and I shopped for video game guides. This finally sold. That's how long it took to sell. So it sold for $64. I think I paid like maybe $8 or $9 in store credit from Second and Charles. So I turned store credit into $64. So you couldn't beat that. That's another good thing if you're trading in at Second and Charles. On the weekly Zoom call, Brian actually brought it up. He found, you know, $100+ in profit just off the $30 in store credit he had. So you can always find ways to turn your credit into money, even if it's not Second and Charles, even if it's a local, you know, bookstore where you go and trade in your stuff. Underneath it, we got a $17 book that sold, $13 book, $9.99. So $9.99 is currently my floor on my repricer, so nothing will get priced under $9.99. But sometimes, you know, to sell stuff, you got to go that low, and if it's been sitting a while, you might as well just sell it and get a little bit more money out of it. Even if it's a paperback, you should still make, you know, 50, 75 cents on this. Get your money back, put it back in your business, and turn that, you know, 75 cents or $1 into, you know, maybe the next dollar book you buy will be $100 profit. So that's kind of how I look at it. Magic School Bus, $52, but you see here it was returned. So I'm not sure if it's sold again since, but someone did buy it and return it. That's part of the game. We all know Amazon is real lenient with their returns. We got a video game here sold for $23. Pac-Man World 2 on PlayStation 2. Always scan the games. I don't buy them unless the manual's inside, the disc is in good condition, and the cover art is there. So those are the three things I look at. So we got a book, a DVD, a video game, and then we have a board game. So Monopoly Fortnite Edition board game sold for $17. I think I paid $2 for this at the Goodwill, which is surprising because it was new sealed. So we sold that, probably make, you know, 8, maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. I'm not sure how much because the board games are a little bit bigger. So we probably made at least $5 back after our buy cost of $2. It's just more books. And another board game here, $35. Another refund applied, which sucks, but you know, at least if you're selling used items, when you get a refund, Amazon's more likely to put it back in your inventory. So let's keep scrolling here, see if we got any other big selling books that we have here. You see a lot of it is just in the teens, between 10 and 20 all day long. This is the stuff you're going to sell. Here goes a $40 sale. Zion National Park book about the rocks, and it's basically just the history of it. $50 book that sold. Essentials of Cross Battery Assessment. See if there's anything else here. We got a CD for 16 bucks. That's always good. This was another CD for $10.42. Principles of Knitting. Always scan the knitting books, the Afghan books, all that stuff is usually pretty good. I mean, you're going to sell a lot of it, even during summertime. I mean, knitting in May, it's already spring, so that stuff's always going to sell. A lot more stuff in the teens. $25 book here, another study guide. You know, everybody knows textbooks do best. The study guides do well. $10.29. So it just kind of shows to, you know, the different range of basically amounts you're going to sell. You're not just going to sell all higher stuff. You have to also have the faster moving, you know, lower price stuff. That's going to keep the money coming back into your business. It's going to keep you excited because you see you're getting sales every day, and you're going to be more invested into growing your business. And here goes a funny one. This is the Shari Show. This is the lady that did lamb chop. So growing up, lamb chop was like a big thing, you know. She had a little puppet, lamb chop puppet. That's cool. But that was a DVD that sold for 35 bucks. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for it. That's why it's important. If you're not ungated in DVDs and CDs, go watch the video and get ungated. So this is just a little inside look on, you know, stuff I'm selling, just so you kind of can see what's going on behind the scenes and what it takes to, you know, have over $5,000 in sales when it comes to selling media on Amazon. So as always, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more used book videos. Bye bye.